Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan, and it's time once again for our semi quarterly segment. It's called Why I'm Not Seeing These Movies. Yes, I can judge a book by its cover. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's The Pineys, books 1 through 9, available at Amazon.com. Kindle Unlimited is free. I will be at the Veterans Memorial Museum in Tuckerton, New Jersey tomorrow. That's Saturday at 10 a.m. till 4. There'll be wine trucks and beer trucks and food trucks, and I assume many veterans. Should be a nice day. Come on out if you're in the Tuckerton area. Okay, Joan, I don't know if you remember this with your tiny brain, but what I do is I go through what's coming out, the coming soon movies, the upcoming releases, which IMDb used to have a better list than this with the little pictures of the movie posters, and now they just kind of got hot links, which I liked it visually better the other way, but whatever. So we're going to go through what's coming out in the next few months. Yeah, we might as well go to the end of the year. And I'll tell you why I'm not seeing most of these movies. I don't know. It's a very cynical segment. So, hope you enjoy it. All right, Clerks 3. Well, I've talked about this a lot. I mean, I know, Joe. You're very frustrated as well with Kevin Smith. Without going into my whole Kevin Smith rant, I mean, after what happened with He-Man, I just don't feel like paying for this movie. It's definitely not a movie I would pay for. Very few of Kevin's movies, I think, are, worthy of like paying all that money to go to the theater, and it's just getting tired and too meta for me. Too meta. This one, for those of you who don't know, it's about Randall, who was one of the original Clerks, and he has a heart attack like Kevin, and then he finally decides to make his movie, and then guess what? He's making Clerks, and it's like a movie within a movie within a movie within a movie. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, I've always thought Kevin's shtick was fun at first. He just it kind of just stayed where it was at. It kind of like didn't go as far as I thought it should go. There's something missing from the later installments, I think, of a lot of his Clerks world. Some of the early stuff's really great, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the original movie and Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back and some of the cartoons and stuff. But, it just... and then after what happened to He-Man, it's just like, dude, really? Like, I get it. You're trying to merchandise stuff, and you're trying to maintain this position of Hollywood outsider, but it's not working anymore. After what happened to He-Man, it feels like you're an insider now, and it's a little disappointing. So I'm conflicted about whether or not to even support you. Number one, so if I'm gonna see this would be something I'd see for free if it's streaming somewhere, and then maybe I'll look at it, see if I can even stomach it for the whole movie. And that's a shame because it's getting bashed by the Hollywood Reporter. It didn't seem like anything you did to ingratiate yourself with the Hollywood types did you any good. And I question whether or not young, brash Kevin Smith, who made fun of Hollywood, would have gone down that path. But yeah, look, everybody's got overhead. Everybody has their price. So I'm no different, but it's kind of tough to see. And right on the heels of He-Man, I think this movie's going to tank. I really do. But we'll see. Unseen Skies? I have no idea what the hell that is. What is that? It's Trevor Pagan travels through the desolate Nevada desert while discussing the motivation for his latest, most audacious project, launching a satellite into orbit. Okay, I'm not sure what that requires a movie, but it was shot last year. Weird. The Retaliators. I saw this trailer. What the hell was that about? An upstanding pastor uncovers a dark and twisted underworld as he searches for answers surrounding his daughter's brutal murder. Yeah, this looked kind of intense. Maybe. MVP. What the hell is this? MVP. On the streets of Hollywood, a recently retired NFL player saved from scandal by a homeless veteran. With their glorious day behind them, the two men bond in search of purpose and identity. Well, that sounds interesting. That sounds kind of cool. So maybe. Sounds like a good premise. September 16th. Oh, a lot of movies coming out. See How They Run. I think. Is this the Sam Rockwell movie? Yes, this looks great. Look, some guy's blasting me in the comments for saying that Sam Rockwell is underrated. I think he is underrated, and I don't mean that as an insult to him. I meant that as not enough people appreciate how amazing an actor Sam Rockwell is. And he went, "Oh, he won an Oscar." Yeah, who cares about the Oscars? F the Oscars. The point is, he's not in enough movies. That's the point. Guy should be in like every movie. The Woman King. Ugh. Buh. Buh. Yeah, no, this looks like somebody in Hollywood got wind of this story, this historical story about an all-women army, and said, "Ooh, we'll do that," without even reading the Wikipedia entry. Because spoilers, in history, they all lost. But spoilers, in the movie, I bet they all win. So no thank you. Pearl. That movie looked interesting. It's a kind of a prequel to X, which I didn't see, but looked kind of cool. X was a slasher movie set in like the late 70s, early 80s about some guys shooting a porn movie on a farm, and then they get brutally murdered. And then Pearl is one of the characters apparently in the movie. Is like there's an old farming couple that I think murders them all, or maybe it's just Pearl. I don't know. But this is the prequel of how Pearl became a crazy effed up serial killer and ended up back on the farm. So very interesting. From I believe that's from A24, and the look of that movie looks cool too. I know I'm liking most of these movies. Moon Age Daydream. I'm not even sure. See, this is why I need the movie posters and the synopsis. Oh, it's a Bowie movie. It's a cinematic odyssey exploring David Bowie's creative and musical journey from visionary filmmaker Brett Morin, sanctioned by the Bowie estate. I would see that because I'm a big Bowie fan. Unless they somehow bash him. God's Country. I think I saw the trailer for this too. Oh yeah, this is Thandie Newton. Nah, no thanks. No thanks. Don't need to be lectured by whatever you're going to be lecturing about me about. And I think it looked a little bit woke when I saw the trailer, if I'm remembering correctly. The Silent Twins. Yeah, I remember when Tropic Thunder, when they tell Ben Stiller, "Don't go full, you know what." That's what this movie is for Letitia Wright. It's like, it's her Oscar movie where she plays somebody with a handicap kind of thing. It's about two twins who, I don't know, they would only talk to each other, and then they got sentenced into they got put in an insane asylum and got separated, and then there's this long road back to getting together. It's something like that. It's based on a true story, but I mean, it doesn't look awful. It just looks like super melodramatic. The Falconer. Where's the Snowman? Remember that one? The Falconer follows Tariq and Kai, two best friends who work together at a zoo. But their friendship is challenged when Tariq plans to steal animals from the zoo and sell them to save her sister from an abusive marriage. Well, that's kind of a unique take. Okay, maybe. Looks like a foreign film too, so I'd say yes. It was produced in 2021, so I assume it was probably a big hit, whatever country it was in. So it's probably why they're releasing it here. So I'm calling it. It's probably a decent flick. Simchas and Sorrows, an atheist actress, oh boy, attempts to convert to Judaism to marry the man she loves. Okay, maybe. I'm not seeing why that's so hard. Sounds like a low budget deal. Maybe. Don't Worry, Darling. No. September 23rd. Oh, no. No, 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 no. 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 Don't ask me to see that movie. I don't want to give Olivia Wilde any money, and something effed up happened on that set. Something really effed up. I can't wait for the reviews, though. Oh, boy. They're going to be fun to watch. I think they're going to trash that movie up and down. And she talked a big game. That's a problem with a lot of people in Hollywood. They're arrogant. They talk trash. She talked trash about Jordan Peterson. So I hope the thing tanks. And quite frankly, after directing Booksmart, I don't know why you'd give this woman a bigger movie to direct. The Railway Children Return. It's not. I don't know. It's based on some book. I don't know. It's English. I mean, I assume if you're from the UK and you grew up with that, you're like, ooh, that'll be fun. Maybe. It's a children's movie. Not for me. On the Come Up. I don't think I know this one. On the Come Up. Story centers on a 16-year-old Bree who wants to be one of the greatest rappers of all time, facing controversies with an eviction notice staring down her family. Bree doesn't just want to make it, she has to make it. Maybe. I think the problem with a lot of movies like that, unless you have, like, with 8 Mile, which I didn't see, but it was Eminem, right? So you got a guy who you know can make pretty awesome music. So if you do a movie like that, and it was about him, so whatever, it works to some degree, I think. But if you just have an actress and you don't have that, you need like a hit rapper to do all the music is what you need. You need to really build it around a rapper. Is it built around a rapper? It doesn't look that way, but maybe. Wicked Game? An electrifying thrill ride is unfolding with propulsive energy, unexpected twists, and breathtaking action. Director Denny Blake and writer Denny Blake. It's an awfully thin synopsis. Oh, here it is. Taglines. Exquisite, beautiful, and ruthless former CIA agent turned assassin. I'm sorry. Joan's breath stinks so bad. I'm like, kind of like trying to get air. Joan, you stink on ice, babe. I'm going to move you. I can't smell you anymore. You're right underneath my face. Whew. All right. So it's a CIA turned assassin. I mean, that sounds dull. It doesn't sound interesting. So I'll pass on that. The Swearing Jar. I actually watched this trailer, but I didn't feel like reviewing it. It's a rare and miraculous thing to find your one true soulmate. Carrie soon learns that finding 2 of them can pose an even greater problem. Oh, okay. That explains why I was a little confused about the trailer. It looked to be that she finds the perfect man, they get married, they're having a kid, and then she meets another guy. And then I thought the movie's about whether or not she stays with him or goes with the other guy, but apparently, oh no, she's gonna have it all, ladies. She's gonna have 2 men, I guess. What the F's up with that? No thank you. I'm not going to see some polyamory BS. Yakuza. The tale of Yakuza, Japanese gangster, who makes his way through the Japanese criminal underworld. Well, maybe. I like those kinds of movies, but you got to give me a little more info than that. But I guess they're still shooting it or whatever. My Imaginary Country. I kind of like that title. All right. Looks very indie. Protests that exploded onto the streets of Chile's capital in Santiago in 2019 as the population demanded more democracy and social equality around education, healthcare, and job opportunities. Chile just shot down the socialists in a vote. So there's your democracy, commies. Go F yourselves. I'm not seeing that. September 25th, Abnormality? Did I see this one? A deranged and murderous family A deranged and murderous family man toys with a detective who is seeking vengeance for the death of his sister. Director Xavier Estrada and writer Xavier Estrada. I don't know. Looks like a typical sort of murder movie. Maybe it's not really appealing to me. Oh, Bros. No, thank you. This is Billy Eichner's movie. The super gay one. Yeah, no, that's that's a big no for me, dog. And he's really kind of been obnoxious about the promotion, I think. And I know, I mean, it hasn't come out yet, right? The moment this comes out is the moment I'm going to call it now. I bet he goes on and on about the terrible threats or harassment he gets online. I bet that's going to be attacked on this one. Oh, I was attacked. See my movie because I was attacked. I'm going to guess that's what's going to be the strategy here. Smile. It's kind of a creepy looking movie. It's about a demon that inhabits people and then it makes them smile, and then so it's pretty gross. I'm going to warn you right now. It's very graphic. So Vesper. This movie, I don't know. I mean, it kind of looks okay. It might be good. I mean, I don't know. I'm sort of on the fence with this one. I mean, it's very dystopian science fiction kind of movie. Very indie. Maybe. Dead for a Dollar. This movie looked good. This looks like a Western. I like Westerns. You got Christopher Waltz, William Dafoe. Oh, he's in it too? I don't remember him in the commercial. From Walter Hill, and he's co-writer and director of 48 Hours. Oh, yeah. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, William Dafoe is in it. So they're like, he's a, what's the name? A bounty hunter, and Dafoe is a gangster. So, yeah, could be good. Could be real good. The Good House. I'm going to guess it's a foreign movie from last year. No, it's, I remember this. Okay. So this is Kevin Kline and Sigourney Weaver in an old person's kind of rom-com. It's based on a novel. I don't know if they were this old in the novel. But you got two powerhouses in terms of the acting. They're both really good. They're really good. Kind of wondering where Kevin Kline has been keeping himself these days. I wish he should do more movies, and so should Sigourney. Really, I mean, she does some blockbusters that I don't like. When she does like a blockbuster movie these days, they just seem to be like, meh. Why is she doing this? Like, this seems like something she could sink her teeth into. A lot of good movies coming out. Argentina in 1985. A team of lawyers take on the heads of Argentina's bloody military dictatorship during the 1980s in a battle against odds and a race against time. Not familiar with the history on this, but maybe? Not sure how the lawyers can beat them. Wouldn't they just get shot in Argentina? I don't know. Guess not. 1618. Another, looks like a foreign movie. The Inquisition continues the persecution of Portuguese Jews, sending Visitador Sebastio Noran to the city of Oporto. With his family and community in danger, Antonio Alvarez decides to outline an escape plan. Yeah, this could be cool. I mean, I like the time period. The Inquisition's pretty interesting. And when I did my research for Complete Mafia, some of this era ties into the very early prototype mafia, especially the Camorra. So the Camorra was operating during this time too. And there was a prison gang known as La Garduna, which came out of Spain and may have been the force that established the Camorra. Starting in October, Syndrome K, also from last year. Syndrome K is a true story about a highly contagious, highly fictitious disease created by 3 Roman Catholic doctors during the Holocaust to hide Jews in a Vatican-affiliated hospital. Oh, okay. So this is a true story. Oh, okay. That's kind of interesting. I never heard of that. Interesting part of history there. Till. Oh, that's the Emmett Till thing. Yeah, it looks a little overproduced, I'm going to say. Look, it's historic. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe. Maybe it'll be good. The Banshees of Inisherin. This is the movie I called the most Irish thing I had ever seen. It's got Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson as the main characters. Looks awesome. Looks really awesome. I think you should see it. It's about 2 friends in a small town on an island, and Brendan Gleeson just decides he doesn't want to be friends with his really boring friend anymore. And it turns the whole town upside down. Empire of Light. This looks, again, another movie that looks a little overproduced. Set in an English seaside town in the early 1980s, Empire of Light is a powerful and poignant story about human connection and the magic of cinema from Academy Award-winning director Sam Mendes. I mean, he makes a good movie, I guess. I don't know. I hated Skyfall. I hear 1917 is really good. Still haven't seen it. Kind of want to see it. I got to get on that. Is that on HBO Max? But, yeah, I don't know. This isn't really... It's not really it's not exciting me. October 6th, Terrifier 2. Evil Clown. Okay. Not my... It doesn't... just looks like your generic slasher movie to me. Maybe. I didn't see Terrifier 1, so I don't want to be lost. Bonnie... Portrait of legendary casting director Bonnie Timmerman, an homage to the craft of acting. Nah. I mean, sounds like something I might see if I'm like really doing a deep dive into, I don't know, filmmaking or something, but doesn't jump off the page at me, as they say. October 7th is Amsterdam. Now that looks pretty awesome. You got a pretty stellar cast here. Set in the 30s, it follows 3 friends who witness a murder, become suspects themselves, and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. I think it's based on a true story. Writer and director David O. Russell. So that looks fun. Lyle Crocodile. This is a kid's movie. No, thank you. Not for me. I don't know. Looks wacky and annoying to me. Bromates. 2 best friends who break up with their girlfriends at the same time, subsequently deciding to move in with one another. Sounds like more of a sitcom than a movie. But okay, if it's a comedy, I'm rooting for it. But it doesn't look like it's, again, jumping off the page. Signs of love. Signs of love. Oh, we're looking for signs of love. A young man struggling for a good life meets a deaf girl from a well-off nearby family. He suddenly sees hope for love and a better life, but only if he can escape the predicament of the streets and the influence of his older sister. Yeah. That sounds good. That sounds like a real solid premise, actually. Wow. Yeah. This feels like an independently produced movie. Clarence Fuller is the writer and director. Rosanna Arquette is in it. Cool. Young Love. Hey, you can't beat it. It looks good. I'll say right now, it looks decent. Battleground. 3 women lead the charge in their single-minded quest to overturn Roe v. Wade as they face down forces equally determined to safeguard women's access to safe and legal abortions. So another documentary. Cynthia Lowen, writer and co-writer and director. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, not for me. I mean, I guess it's another movie, but this time on the other side. But it's exhausting. I want to go to the movies. Forget this crap. What else we got? So, October 12th is Armageddon Time. I just looked at this trailer. I didn't like it. Deeply personal coming of age story about the strength of family and a generational pursuit of an American dream from James Gray, writer and director. Yeah, it wasn't appealing to me. And it was weird to me that Anthony Hopkins is playing, an older Jewish grandfather in New York, and he just sounds like Anthony Hopkins. So it's like, what the hell, man? You're telling me he's the only English actor who can't do an American accent, like, awesomely? That's just crazy if that's true. The Legend of Malujat. Not sure what country is this. Malujat, a fierce prize fighter with a tortured past, seeks vengeance against his arch nemesis, Nori Nat. Okay. The most feared warrior in the land of Punjab. Oh, okay. All right. So this looks like another movie from India. I'm going to guess. Is it India? I'm going to guess it's India. I mean, there's so many cultures and tribes in India. It sounds like a good bet. Wow, 2.5 hours. I mean, look, the Indians are making some awesome movies. RRR was awesome, so I'd at least give it a chance. October 14th, Halloween ends, and thank God Halloween ends. I'm so sick of Halloween. Corporate horror is the worst now, to me. I get it. I mean, it was a great first movie, but Jesus. And the third movie's decent, but I think you just got to give it a rest. I'm sick of it. Decision to Leave. A detective investigating a man's death in the mountains meets the dead man's mysterious wife in the course of his dogged sleuthing. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Appears to be Korean. Koreans are knocking it out of the park with some of their movies. Loneliest Boy in the World. All right, let's see what that is. The Loneliest Boy in the World is a modern fairy tale with zombies, a satire and a celebration of family values, of the imagery of horror films, of suburban life, the American dream, and the ultimate taboo, death. I'm not sure where you're going with this one, but I do like zombie movies, and I like some of that. I would check it out, but I'm a zombie guy, so. White Bird, A Wonder Story. I don't know what this is, but I keep seeing it, but I keep ignoring it. Based on the book by the best-selling author of Wonder, this uplifting movie shows how one act of kindness can live on forever. I guess. I mean, just reading that, it made me want to yawn, but, maybe it's a nice, positive movie with good characters. It's just not compelling to me, but I'm glad they're making it. I'm not going to knock it, because if it's got a positive message, even if it sucks, I got to say, well, good for you, I'm making it. The Same Storm. Snapshots of the tumults of the COVID-19 pandemic. Oh, God, I don't want to see this. Peter Hedges writes and directs it. No, thank you. I just want to forget that time period now. Every time somebody talks about COVID, I just want to go, shut up. They're going to bring it back if you keep talking about it. Summit Fever. Mountain climbing movie. A daring dream to scale the world's most challenging trio of mountains soon turns into a terrifying nightmare for a group of friends when a deadly storm traps the climbers near the summit and cuts off all hope of rescue. With the odds stacked against them, the friends are forced to trust each other to save themselves by any means necessary. Oh, that doesn't look good. Yeah, I mean, they make these movies all the time. They're not my kind of movies. I pity the poor actors who were in them. I mean, the stuff you gotta do to be in a movie like that. Like, if I was auditioning, I'd be like, oh, what is this movie? It's Summit Fever? Am I gonna have to climb a mountain? Oh, yeah, you'll be on the mountain the whole time. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. The Inspection. A young gay black man, rejected by his mother with few options for his future, decides to join the Marines, doing whatever it takes to succeed in a system that would cast him aside. Yeah, I mean, this looked like a rough movie. a tough drama, because any movie where the character's mother just basically abandons him looks rough, and it looks like he really wants to be a Marine. So good. Probably an uplifting story. I'm guessing he probably becomes a Marine. October 21st, Black Adam finally hits theaters. This is I gotta say, well timed. I mean, this kind of movie is good for Halloween. It's kind of got a supernatural bent. I just hope they're not going to try to parlay Black Adam into. He's not a superhero. He's a bad guy. Okay, he's a bad guy, and but I think they're going to try to make him into a superhero and not have. He should fight Shazam, and Shazam should beat the crap out of him. Nearly 5,000 years after he was bestowed with almighty powers of the Egyptian gods and imprisoned just as quickly, Black Adam is freed from his earthly tomb, ready to unleash his unique form of justice in the modern world. See, they're already spinning it. That's the only thing. And the cool thing is Pierce Bronson is Dr. Fate. Now, that's kind of cool. The other two heroes in the movie have kind of been, I think they've been race swapped. I think it's Adam and Hawkman, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Ticket to Paradise. Oh, this is that George Clooney and, Julia Roberts movie. I mean, if you like these kinds of movies, it didn't look the worst thing in the world. A divorced couple that teams up and travels to Bali. They team up to stop their daughter's wedding because their marriage ended poorly, and they assume hers will too. And so it's not a bad premise. It's a very old school premise, but I think you know where it's going. My Policeman. The arrival of Patrick into Marion and Tom's home triggers an exploration of seismic events from 40 years previously. I guess. Is this Harry Styles? Yeah. No, thank you. I don't think he's such a great actor from what little I've seen. Slayers. This is Thomas Jane as the Vampire Slayer, and he teaches a new Slayer. So, it looks like okay B movie, I guess. Paul's Promise. Good timing again for Halloween. Paul's Promise, the inspiring true story of Paul Holderfield, bigoted firefighter turned pastor who started one of the first integrated churches in the American South. Okay. Sounds good. Is he the pastor? Who's the pastor? Or is he the pastor? I don't know. Not sure who the main character is. So, maybe. Under the Boardwalk. Under the Boardwalk. Sea crab tourists clash with land crab townies on the Jersey Shore. I'm going to assume this is an animated thing. David Soren directs. Writers Lauren Scarfaria and David Soren. I mean, it takes place at the Jersey Shore, so I have to see it. I mean, I think by law, I'm going to have to see this movie. I wish there were some stills. I think it's going to be animated, I assume, since they are crabs. So maybe I'll go see that. Pray for the Devil. This is October 28th. Halloween weekend. I mean, a nun performs an exorcism and comes face to face with the demonic force with mysterious ties to her past. I mean, it looks sufficiently scary. Basically another version of The Exorcist, but okay, sure. It's Halloween. Gotta have these movies. My Special Boy. There is no denying that Camp Crystal Lake has a dark history, one that Sean Orton is intent on ignoring. Despite being warned against returning to the camp, Sean's desire to save his family name proves to be even stronger. Sean rechristens the camp Camp Trinity Point, and with a group of friends attempts to rebuild the camp as a safe haven with no traces. Wow, it was a long thing. With no traces of the tragedy left behind, but the evil that still lingers in the campgrounds has a few lessons to teach them. History always repeats itself. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you're just bringing back Jason again. How many times can you bring back Jason? You didn't want to call it Friday the 13th, so you're calling it My Special Boy? Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, look, the problem with Jason, the problem with Friday the 13th is it's kind of a stupid movie that just got super popular and they made a million of them, and it doesn't really have a mythos to it, right? Like at least not even Freddy Krueger, but they tried to tie it into some kind of crazy Aztec dream god in one of the movies, I think. Um, Mike Myers, same thing. Like these characters don't have a big history. Chucky kind of went down that route with the whole voodoo doll thing, so you could say, well, that's why it's just like it's kind of nothing. It's at the end of the day, it's just some crazy guy with a hockey mask, and like everybody's doing a movie like this, so I think it's pointless. But whatever. Call Jane. Oh, this is another abortion movie. I mean, and Sigourney Weaver's in this, and along with Elizabeth Banks. So this is going to be like super super feminist movie with all the perfect. See, this is the perfect situation for the movie, and the perfect situation is she has to have an abortion or she'll die, and they won't give it to her, right? So they set it up perfectly in the movie that they're going to help everybody who needs an abortion. And again, it was different in the 70s. It wasn't really socially acceptable. The contraception wasn't as good. The technology just wasn't there. So this is going to be a big lecture. No, thank you. The Ambush. What is this? When three Emirati soldiers are ambushed in hostile territory, their commander leads a daring mission to rescue them. Emirati. So these guys are from the Emirates, I guess. United Arab Emirates. This could be interesting to watch for those of you who like these kinds of action movies, simply because it's a completely different military. So you don't know what the F's going to happen. With the American military, you just expect, oh, we'll just go in there and blow everything up. Yeah, no, we should totally survive this. But, if you're talking about the UAE, I mean, it's kind of dicier, right? You don't even know what all the players and the politics of this thing are. So, I think for the novelty of watching another culture's action movie, it might be interesting. But beyond that, I'm not super interested in it. The Lair. Did I see this movie? Did I see this trailer? When Royal Air Force pilot Lieutenant Kate Sinclair is shot down over Afghanistan, she finds refuge in an abandoned underground bunker where deadly man-made biological weapons, half human, half alien, are awakened. Neil Marshall, writer and director. Well, I mean, it looks like a B movie. Like, it's a big-time B movie. I mean, that's a B movie pitch if I ever heard one. I would see it. Unless it's really, I mean, like, if it wasn't interesting, I mean, the rating here on the IMDb is 5.8, so I would see it, but I don't think it's great. It's probably not great. I mean, 5.8, probably terrible. And finally, I think I'm going to end it here. Appetite for Sin on Halloween. Looks like a Halloween movie. Okay. Appetite for Sin is a horror feature film about the story of women vampires walking amongst the living in Los Angeles. The lead vampire, Sarah Hayes, is searching for the most current vampire killer, Jeffrey Nelson. Sarah, who is also an undercover FBI agent, wants to catch him in the act and have him live in jail for all eternity. Another vampire, this is kind of a long pitch here. Another vampire is also out to get him, but wants to instantly kill him. Or is she using Jeffrey Nelson to get at Sarah? Who will get to Jeffrey Nelson first? Yeah, that's not a great synopsis to me. Director Matthew Vinaja, and writer as well. It's a little complicated. And the tagline is, he should have gone trick-or-treating. And is this your lead, the blonde woman? I think it is. Um, not seeing her on the list here. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's my kind of movie, but it looks a little low budget. And Jeffrey Nelson is mentioned, and she's talking to the camera. What's up with that? That does not look good. I mean, talking to the camera. That guy is supposed to be a doctor, I suppose. That woman is supposed to be a nurse, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe I'll check out the trailer. This was made in 2021. I'm not. I guess it finally got released. I'm not sure. I'm not digging that woman talking to the camera. That sounds like a non-starter for me, dog. But it's a low budget thing. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Unless it's a comedy, unless it's kind of funny, and it looks like it's supposed to be serious. The production values are meh. So I don't know. Yeah, Appetite for Sin. I think I'm just gonna. Ooh, well, hey, she's pretty hot. But I'd probably pass on it. I'd probably pass. All right, I'm gonna save November and December for another time. Maybe we'll do a year's wrap up of why I'm not seeing these movies. That's been why I'm not seeing these movies. I can judge a book by its cover. Anyone can, really. But I'm actually psyched to see a lot of these movies, quite frankly, more than I'm normally psyched to see. But I wish IMDb would bring back your other thing where you had the movie poster and sort of the basics. But I don't know. Guess you're cheaping out. Anyhow, that's it from me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. I'll be at the Veterans Memorial Museum tomorrow, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4, with the big signing, beer trucks, wine trucks, food trucks. See ya in Tuckerton.